What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Week 18 Swolecast. This is new for us a little bit, having an extra week of the regular season. But then again, it's not new because everybody knows that the edges are to be had in Week 18, especially Pete for what?
It is in fact cash game week. Kitchen. Game. I have turned in my GPP Bro card for real. It's time to play a real man's game. It's head-to-head cash. It's double ups. It's stuff that actually matters. No more of this galaxy brain bullshit. It's time to play the best plays, Dave.
It's actually sad to see what's happened to some of the guys like Levitan. You know, because I remember the days where he would create like 4 or 5 different cash game lineups in 1 week.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't even care about cash games.
Yeah, and in fact, you know what's actually really disheartening? He even had a tweet to me earlier. He said he hopes I lose every single cent this week. And I don't know,
it's
Kitchen.
sad. It's sad to see him hating on his roots.
Wouldn't you guys say that it literally costs nothing to root for your friends in cash games?
Yeah.
It's literally free to root, except for the fact that Pete and I are playing each other for about 0.08 Ethereum this week.
Don't say 0.08. That's bad memories. That's what I minted Bored Apes for.
Kitchen, it's not about you, bud. It's about the fact that Pete and I are playing $1,000 head-to-head this week.
I thought that there was a 10K head-to-head. I thought Hoka sent someone a 10K head-to-head for a cash game.
Did he? I'm not playing the Establish the Run Optimal for $10,000.
I think there might be a 10K head-to-head floating out there. Chris Neville, I think, has now thrown down the gauntlet to us. So we will see what we get up to. It will be
crowdfund that. Cash Dow.
Davis, how much do you think I've gotten in head-to-head so far this week?
Well, I said when you first posted the tweet that you're going to get more than you got last year. And I had a piece of your action last year. And if I remember it correctly, it was about 4,500 is what you ended up getting in. So I'm going to guess you've gotten at least $4,000 in action thus far.
No, I wish. I'm about to 1,000. I have 64 head-to-heads that I've accepted. But more in the $1 to $10 range. These
people are scared. I've gotten 13 invites thus far. These people are scared. They want to play Pete. They don't want to play noted cash game grinder Davis Mattek. They only want to play you.
Even more so, they don't want to play noted cash game grinder for life and low price quarterback in cash originator SocrDave, because
I don't think we can let you in on the bit. I don't think
I've
we can
gotten
let you in on
zero invites. That is some real fear floating out there.
Do you want to hear the most Nate Noling story ever? By the way, his DraftKings name is so boring. It's just Nate N, that you literally can't find him to send him an invite. You type in Nate N and you get about 900 accounts. You literally can't even send him a game. Because I posted that tweet in my account. So like, oh, if you want it on the fun, send it to Revertsy Top, Davis Mattek, Whirling Dervish, or Nate N. And you literally can't send Nate games. Like, it's so funny.
It's also like the order of how people just don't want to send Nate games. It just doesn't sound fun to people.
No. Darren Waller's back this week. So you know who Nate's playing at tight end.
Oh, I'm adjusting my shell. Hang on.
Do you know who else makes me adjust my shell? Who else is back at practice this week for the Titans?
I refuse to acknowledge this.
His birthday was yesterday. I try not to get too excited about things, but when people are posting all the time about it, when I see Silva with his shirt, his King Henry shirt, and his tweet, like, it's making me excited.
The Titans, the worst 1 seed potentially ever in NFL
Davis,
history.
Save that for your Skip Bayless shows. That is like, I mean, that's the talking point.
Do even Titans fans think they deserve to be the 1 seed?
I mean, deserve is a relative word.
Like, do you think they're the best team in the AFC?
When you think about all that they've lost, the Titans are like the epitome of Week 18. If you think about it, they are.
I'm thinking about it, and I don't really.
Yeah, get it. They are a grinding team. That's all they do is grind. Stars go out. You're left with backups. What do? You just next man up. Donta Foreman, bam. Jeremy McNichols, Hilliard, whoever the wide receivers are on the team, it's next man up. So
it sounds like what you're saying. It's kind of a system thing, and actually the talent of like Derrick Henry and AJ Brown doesn't really matter.
System. Yeah.
No, you're hearing me exactly the wrong way. I'm saying it's an effort thing and not a talent thing.
Okay.
It's the Titans putting in the work, but now they're if they get this first round bye, then you're talking about getting some of the big dog healthy, Julio, AJB, and then home field advantage here in Nashville. So look out. I'm not going to get excited, though. I'm not going to get excited about that. I'm not going to get excited about Darius Garland and the recent tear that he has been on.
Well, it's hard to be on a tear when you're in the health and safety protocols.
He is again?
He just got out.
Like last night, he dominated again.
Well, Dave, let's just not jinx it because we are so close to getting out from underwater on our.
No, we're not underwater, Davis. It's one day you'll learn to listen to me. I talked about punks. I talked about Bored Apes, Darius Garland.
Well, when you told me to buy Darius Garland, he's like 50% off when you told me to buy him.
Yeah, so I say like a thank you is in order for people that have followed.
When I sell it for exactly the price I purchased it for, I will tell you thank you.
Hey, we're about to get into the by the way, Tuttle's not on the show for people waiting for Tuttle to talk.
If you're listening to this in podcast form, it honestly probably sounds like what the beginning of the show normally sounds like, which is just us talking shit, and then Tuttle going, "All right, so week 18." Well, that part is not going to come because Tuttle's not here.
Yeah, so we wish him and his family the best as far as their health because they're all sick. And Tuttle is taking care of them like a good family man should. So
should clarify they only have the flu. So don't send them coronavirus well wishes.
I just said their family is sick. Like we don't have to clarify
when someone tells you they're sick in 2022, don't you just assume they have the coronavirus? Yeah. If I told you guys like, oh, I can't make the show, I'm sick, you'd be like, oh, well, he's got the bid.
Have you gotten tested?
I did. I wasn't feeling great this morning, so I went and just got tested.
Hang on, that reminds me though, we need to congratulate Steven on his new full-time role, correct?
Yeah.
Has that been since we last did the show?
We were talking about that. You were late a little bit getting to the room, but yeah, we were talking to him. He said it's been a lot for him the past 3 days.
He is the official scores and odds in-game live college basketball, in-game live betting specialist. So
wow.
Yeah.
And Steven, is there anything, I don't know if your mic is on for the actual show feed, but anything you'd like to say about kind of kitchen, kind of
for thanking Dave
and just everything he's done for you? He said,
I think that's for the best. I think what Steven just said should never be heard by anyone other than us.
The best mentor Davis, maybe you should take some notes.
I think the best mentor is in the backfield for the KC in the playoffs.
Am I
right?
All right. Let's move on.
We need Overzet's overview of cash.
We need Overzet's overview. This is gonna be a lot because we've got injuries. That's a normal part of Overzet's overview. But we also have now the must-win factor, the rest factor, and the incentives factor.
Love the incentives.
Some might say it's even too much for one man to even be able to kind of drill down and deliver in a really succinct way.
Some would say that, but not us on this show.
Us.
Oh, no.
We have faith in you.
You know, I mean, a lot of people would maybe say, like, how did you actually have any time to study the slate when you're just, shit posting on Twitter the entire morning? And I would say, get you a cash game grinder that can do both.
Can you just read the thread that Amico started about incentives?
Well, I do have a few things up to read that I haven't necessarily, soaked in.
I got a couple if you need help.
No, I do want to give the Overzet overview of the week. It's why people tune in. This is a big week, like Dave said, a lot of moving pieces. And the way I think about DFS, Dave, is each slate is its own unique puzzle. And it's our job to put it together. And this week we have extra pieces. And one of those pieces you mentioned is motivation. We're looking at teams who are highly motivated, like the Tennessee Titans, the 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Saints, the Rams, the Colts, the Cardinals, the Chargers, the Steelers. Feel free to fire up those teams with supreme confidence, the Ravens included. Now it gets a little murkier when we're talking about teams like the Bengals, the Bills, the Patriots, the Bucks, the Cowboys.
The Bills have to win.
I mean, they are in the postseason already. I guess they're playing for what? Home field advantage in the wild card round, Davis?
And they would like to win the division. Like, I know that sort of thing doesn't matter for some teams, but that will definitely matter for Hardo McDermott when it comes to winning the division versus Bill Belichick. That 100%.
See, this is something, when you're a cash game grinder, just kind of staring at the projections, sometimes you forget that McDermott has been cucked by Belichick and has
like 100 times.
His own revenge there. I mean, the teams that are not motivated, we're looking at the Packers here. I mean, I'll just tell you right now, would I love to play Devontae Adams in cash, but at 9,400 and unmotivated, that's a tough
He's not even going to play.
It's a tough click. That's what I said. The Eagles are not motivated either. They're either the 6th or the 7th seed, and their individual matchup has no relevancy. So that definitely kind of wraps up the motivation stuff for everybody.
Yeah, but the incentives.
The incentives.
That's a different type of motivation.
So the big ones, go ahead, Pete.
I just want to say one more thing, and then Davis can go through the incentives. I do just want to be careful with this because last week there was a narrative floating around about Antonio Brown incentives, why that might be a reason to play him, and he literally retired mid-game. So let's just make sure that you're not over extrapolating these.
So there are a couple big incentives. The ones that I think might actually matter in terms of who you should play and who you should not play is Cooper Kupp is close to having the best wide receiver season ever. I believe it's 6 catches and 45 yards away from the records for most yards and most receptions. Stephon Diggs is 6 catches away from $250,000. Gronk is 65 yards and 6 catches away, each for $500,000. So those were the big ones. And then Mark Andrews is like 140 yards away from most tight end yards for a season ever. Kyle Pitts is 45 yards away from the rookie tight end record. And Jamar Chase is 65 yards from the rookie wide receiver record. So just a couple. And then Jonathan Taylor, this is probably the wackiest one, is Jonathan Taylor's 266 yards away against Jacksonville from 2,000 yards.
Yeah. That's not happening.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Don't you know about the most amazing narrative ever, which is that if the Jaguars win and the Colts lose, the Chargers and Raiders can just kneel out for 4 quarters? I obviously the Jaguars are not going to win, but I want it to happen just to see how the teams would actually behave in practice. Like, what would they actually come to a handshake agreement, or would they just say, like, we're going for this? And then if they did do the handshake agreement, would Goodell be like, well, we're not rewarding this.
It would melt people online. Like they would literally be melting. And I would be all here. Yeah,
we really
be here for it. Be here for the results in that. All right. Well, let's start with quarterback. Are you keeping up with the QB MVP narrative, Peter, as far as some people maybe not voting for Aaron Rodgers because of the COVID stuff, and then Brady needing some things to go right for him? I mean,
yeah, it seems like every year, Dave, we kind of reinvent what most valuable means. And now we're adding in factors like, oh, just because a guy said unhinged things on the Joe Rogan show, he's not eligible to be MVP. I mean, cancel culture's out of control.
Who amongst us?
Yeah, Dave, I am keeping really close tabs on it. I've actually been sending out kind of internal polls to friends just to kind of see how he's testing, with the normies and stuff. I think he's going to win it. I really do.
People are sending me messages. Not going to say who, but people are sending me messages. Hey, bet Tom Brady plus 550. Like there's a strong undercurrent as far as people going against Aaron Rodgers. So
Brady's had a better statistical season too.
He really has.
It seems weird because I just thought the media would like the guys who have MVP votes. It feels like they'd really want to give Brady this award. So I don't know. It feels a little weird that there's this undercurrent of populism for Aaron Rodgers.
And how about thinking about the kind of personality managing Brady's had to do on the side with Antonio Brown? Like he's literally his chef has had to whip up brunch for this guy in his own home. I mean, Brady deserves MVP just for what AB has likely put him through.
Correct.
And without Fournette also.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah, Fournette might be. I mean, he's proving himself to be maybe the MVP of the team. All right, but let's get on to quarterback play for this week. Are there any low price quarterback options that you like, Peter?
I think there's one guy that stands out for me. And obviously, there's stuff with Lamar Jackson, but Tyler Huntley is currently in my cash game shell right now, Dave.
Really?
Davis, you agree with that?
I mean, I think Tyler Huntley is a good play, but he is not who I have in my cash game shell.
You have Josh Allen?
I have Josh Allen in my cash game shell.
Wow. I'm kind of worried about the motivation. McDermott cuck narrative aside.
I just gave you, and we're talking about MVP. Josh Allen has a very outside chance of getting some MVP votes as
Davis, back in my day, we didn't pay $8,100 for a quarterback in cash.
This is an interesting thing yet. Every year in week 18, some team will just say we're resting all the dudes. Right now, the early favorite is the Bengals. They said Joe Burrow's not playing. Joe Mixon is not playing. And then Zach Taylor was non-committal on Jamar Chase, who does need that record that I just mentioned. So they would be down to at wide receiver if those guys, assuming they sat their starters, Stanley Morgan, Mike Thomas, Trent Taylor, all minimum salary guys. Every year this happens. Every single year, some team has a bunch of min-price wide receivers and you use one or two of the most min-price guys to get whoever you want. And then you pick the wrong one. Of course, this is before Pete's time in the cash game streets, but Robert Foster versus the Bills. Robert Foster versus Duke Williams. I think 3 years ago, Robert Foster goes 0-0-0. Duke Williams goes 7 for 126, gets the bonus. Not that I'm mad or not that it cost me a bunch of money that week or anything.
The year before that, it was the Giants, and all the Giants receivers were not playing. And so
I do vaguely remember this, but I don't remember the guy that people played.
I forget. We've mentioned it on the show before, but it was a 3K wide receiver, and he was like 50 or 60% owned.
It was some guy who was good in college. I know exactly who this is.
He didn't even play though. They didn't even report it until after the game had started.
I'm gonna go figure it out because I know I exactly remember this.
Yeah. But
point being, it's not going to be hard to get Josh Allen in your cash game shell this week, Pete.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. I think I'm a little more concerned about the motivation than you are.
What's the Ravens' motivation? Are they not drawing dead?
The motivation for the Ravens is it's Big Ben's final game, and Big Ben is going to throw the ball 5 yards 65 times in this game. We're looking at an up-tempo game, and Huntley's really good.
But am I wrong about that? Are the Ravens not dead?
The Ravens, I believe, are dead.
Okay.
But that's why this is the time. Let's see. They have a shot. The Steelers must beat Baltimore and have the Colts lose, but they also... Let's see for the Ravens.
It all hinges on the Colts losing, which is all these scenarios do, which is just not happening.
Right. They need to win, and then they need the Colts, the Browns, the Chargers, and the Dolphins to lose. And that's why Tyler Huntley's going to be playing with his hair on fire out there, just trying to do everything he can.
What about Taysom at 6,200 against Atlanta?
I think that's interesting. I like a little bit more upside from my cash game quarterback. I think Taysom offers you that nice floor, but we've seen Huntley kind of get us to that ceiling range as well. The Saints are just playing such gross games right now. I mean, they really
it's
are.
Terrible.
It's so, and they can't get in the playoffs. I mean, they can, but I do not want to see the Saints.
Won't everyone just play Lance though if he starts?
What was I wasn't on Twitter last week. What was like public sentiment on Trey Lance?
They were this guy sucks. He's a bust. He can't beat the Texans. Like it was all. The
first half was bad.
Yeah,
it was bad. And then they turned it on in the second.
I tend to gauge the public perception of a rookie quarterback based on the Salfino meter. And if Salfino feels confident saying that a guy sucks, considering how bad Zach Wilson has been, that means they're having a really bad game. And Salfino was like, you millennials and your Trey Lance, he's never going to be any good. So I was like, yep, he's not having a good first half.
So who is the lowest price quarterback you'd play in cash, Peter? Is
it probably Keenum? Lance.
Case Keenum?
No,
no one's playing Case Keenum.
As Davis said, we're going to have so much value this week that you're not going to need to fully punt it off at QB.
All right. Correct. Let's go to DK and create a nice little cash game lineup.
All right. You can dupe us in the $50 massive double up on DraftKings.com.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to get in that.
Spots they're filling up quick during cash game week, bud.
Oh God. Are they? If I miss out on this,
they'll just launch another.
Typically how it works. All right. While Peter looks for that contest, Davis, you can go first.
All right, cash game quarterback. We're gonna load up Trey Lance, $5,500 against the Los Angeles Rams.
So we did our QB section. I said Huntley, you said Allen, and then we pick Lance.
I mean, I wonder if Huntley. I wonder if Lamar doesn't start. I wonder who ends up being more popular between Huntley or Lance. I'm seeing Huntley projected a little bit higher right now, but I wonder if that stays.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so loath to give away my shell, this early.
I know it's tough.
It really does.
But we got it, dude. The people are registering for their cash game contest and they just want to hang out with their family for the rest of the week. So they need it.
All right. We're going to keep the good times rolling with Sony Michel.
It's another stone cold cash game lock.
All right. And since we're going with this, we're going to have to save some money because we're going with Cooper Kupp. I am not fading Cooper Kupp in cash. I don't care.
Dave, you are a true cash game grinder right now.
Wow.
I don't care how expensive he is. You don't fade the floor. It's like what, a 20, 25 point floor you're getting from Cooper Kupp this week. You're not fading that in cash.
No, you're not. I completely get that, Dave. There's a couple of these. I mean, Cooper Kupp, is he a must play? No. Is he a want play? Of course.
He is both.
No, he checks my want play.
Both of those boxes.
You know what? I mean, looking at this late, when I was reviewing my shell earlier, I wished we had a Steven Anderson on this slate, a 2,500 Nick Eubanks. Davis, are you gonna correct me? You have a 2,500?
Yeah, I got one. Now I'm loath to give this to you because I know that you are playing with Holka and Leone this week, and I didn't really want you guys to be considering this guy, but I don't think Leone will let you play him anyways. So we are going with John Bates of
I thought you were going to say
Washington
John
football
Smith.
team.
I thought
So Ricky Seals-Jones, concussion. Logan Thomas, IR. Samus Reyes played, I think, 8 snaps last week, even after RSJ got hurt. Bates had kind of started working in with RSJ in there anyways. We'll get our 3 for 21 against the New York Giants and be happy with that. For John Bates.
Master Bates himself. Come on down, buddy.
And literally the only reason I was even bringing it up is because I know you'll bring it up to Leone and he'll be like, dude, Cole Kmet is so much better points per dollar. Cole Kmet is 90 targets.
Cole Kmet was going to be my pick.
Cole Kmet is who Leone is. Cole Kmet is who Leone will want.
Well, we're going to have a 2v2 for all the money. Cole Kmet versus John Bates. This is going to be the 2v2. It's going to be like John Bates and Bills D versus Cole Kmet and Washington football D for all the money.
I'll take it. I'll take my side, bro. I'll coin flip that for $1,000. That feels fair.
Well, speaking of which, if we're going down to Master John Bates here, I'm going to get the Bills D in here. I think we're gonna have enough on this slate to get up to the Bills D at 3,700.
I don't know if the Bills D is that good of a spend.
They're the best play.
Dude, Zach Wilson, bro. What you want
up for defense in cash games.
You don't spend up for quarterbacks either, and Davis wanted to do that.
You can, but what you actually want is you want a mispriced defense going up against backups, which is the Cleveland Browns against.
If you guys don't think Zach Wilson wants to turn over the ball, you are sorely mistaken. Please do not question the cash game king on cash game week. I think Bills and Washington are both very viable. And
dude, I'm telling you right now, the Browns are going to be what people end up playing against you.
Good luck.
Yeah, or playing a team against the backup. Like why? Like the
Jets... don't send Pete a head-to-head. Send me a head-to-head. Send him to Davis Mattek.
I actually just got another one here. Thank you, big time fish.
The Jets. I mean, they almost beat the Bucks
last
week.
I'm going. I'll do this to make Dave happy.
It's Kitchen's pick.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You stole my tight end pick. Then I did a defensive pick, and now it's back to Kitchen.
No, I just hate that we spent money on the Bills defense.
Look, Kitchen.
If we run into a dead end, we can adjust.
Okay.
This is a collective show.
Yeah, cash game bros are always adjusting and swapping.
All right. Oh man.
Dave, there's like such an obvious pick. I'm surprised you haven't taken it yet.
I'm going to take it if he doesn't.
My pick is next.
Is it a running back?
I already put it out on Twitter.
It is a running back.
Do they play for the Cincinnati Bengals?
No.
He's in my cash show.
I mean, P. Ryan, that's who I was going to say. If Mixon's
maybe a guy who went to Vandy?
Jay Cutler's back this week?
No, dude, what is wrong with you?
Sherfield? This
is like prime SocrDave bit that you're missing. Make your pick. Oh my God. Make your pick.
I already said P. Ryan.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put Keyshawn Vaughn in our flex. I can't believe you missed that.
Oh yeah.
Keyshawn Vaughn. It is a 3 running back week. I do just kind of want to say this.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't get cute with your wide receivers. I got to get a ceiling in here. No. Just get the touches, lock them up. 3 running backs.
Guaranteed touches, dude. That's what it's all. That's the name of the game.
I love Keyshawn, obviously, but when they bring Le'Veon for goal line touches,
it's the Panthers, bro.
I just don't know. All right.
They just beat this team by like 100 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Keyshawn, P. Ryan, Sony. Whew. All right, we have
this is like actually everyone's cash game team right now.
You guys aren't gonna like this. But sometimes when you're playing cash, you got to make uncomfortable plays.
This better be a cheap wide receiver.
It is.
Okay.
It's Robbie Anderson.
What? No.
Yep.
This is not in the spirit of cash game week. Why are you
doxing
Robbie Anderson to the people?
I've reviewed optimals on multiple sites. Robbie Anderson.
He didn't even practice today.
I will say there is a roughly 0% probability of you playing Robbie Anderson on Sunday.
Do you want to know why you put Robbie Anderson in? It's so you can play AJ Brown for $7K.
I mean, AJ Brown is fine, obviously.
If you have, let me hear your suggestion for a sub $4,500 wide receiver.
I'm just saying we're going to get a $3,000 wide receiver we'll be playing on Sunday.
Okay, well, I don't know. I'm going to check
now.
the date, and it is Wednesday.
It's more of a first look show.
You guys, look,
an art.
I know sometimes on the show you say, like, lock it in. You don't have to change it. This is a shell. It's fluid. Okay, you need to be reactive. If you don't have Adam Schefter alerts on your phone turned on, you're going to lose this week.
I'm putting Cyril Grayson on my team instead of Robbie Anderson.
God.
Davis, you didn't have any love for the Dallas wide receivers this week? I saw that you were celebrating Gallup's injury so that the Dallas Cowboys could sign him for cheaper.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas cares this week is the thing. Like they don't have any chance of getting the 1 seed. So I don't think they particularly care. So that's going to be an issue.
I just realized I think we have too much correlation in this lineup. We have a mini with Robbie Anderson and Keyshawn Vaughn. We have Trey Lance with Cooper Kupp and Sony Michel. I think we're opening ourselves up to too much positive variance.
Peter, this is what
we just play the best plays, dude.
This is what cash game bros do. They focus on their cash lineup first, and then they throw it into a GPP. And if it min caches or max caches or whatever, that's just the extra icing
the max
on the top.
Cash.
Well, when I'm thinking about max cash, you remember when like the Blitz Optimal was one of the top 0.1%.
It finished 20th in the Millie Maker.
Yeah, so you had in all the other contests, you had like 5 to 10 people tying for first place and splitting all those prizes. Cash game bros don't care about that. That's just extra icing on the top.
The max cash.
Davis, are you triggered by this $50 head to head I just got?
I just got one too.
CJ?
Yep.
Welcome, CJ.
Gosh, the
Frankie?
only DraftKings notifications I get are I got one from CJ.
Hey, I have a real question for you guys.
Pugfather, CJ, and Frankie P to a
Frankie
dollar
P,
lineup.
big fan of the show.
What is this friend notification stuff on DraftKings now? Like, what is this? I haven't accepted a single friend request.
There's like a DraftKings social media apparatus. Should
I be shit posting on DraftKings social?
I don't think you can.
Yes, you can.
You can post.
Yes.
I've accepted.
You can definitely post.
Requests,
that's why. And if you're verified, I could probably get you guys verified because I am. I'm a suggested follow on DraftKings social, so I get notifications all day.
How did that happen?
And
what content are you giving people?
Because he's a DK pro. Buddy.
Have I ever told you that I was a DraftKings pro back in the day?
Has DraftKings ever looked at your Twitter account?
They don't care. So if you go to the social tab on DraftKings, you'll see. You'll definitely see my name up there as a suggested follow.
Wow.
So yeah,
amazing.
I got a ton of followers. I've got over 1,000 followers on DraftKings.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How are you monetizing that, Dave?
Yeah.
And you know what I put for the link? I put Swolecast for the link.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that.
A company man.
Wow, you actually have some posts up there.
Yeah, from week 2. All right.
Yeah, Pete, I think you need to get shit posting on DK though.
I should.
Let's do running backs now.
Oh wow, we're only on running backs. I do actually have a hard
This was the exact opposite of the Silva show.
The Silva show is just a sprint to 325.
Tuttle would be having a miserable time right now.
I didn't tell you guys, but somebody tipped Silva off to the disrespect when I called him Adam Silva.
Yeah.
Well, Silva legit sent me a DM.
What did he say?
This is a serious DM.
What did he say? He was mad?
No, he wasn't mad. In fact, it was the opposite. I think at first I was like, does he think I'm serious? He said, "Hey, my brother, I just finished watching the Week 17 Swolecast, which I can't believe he
is a lie.
The Swolecast. Yeah. He said, I love you, bro, and I miss you, and I hope next time we can get together, we can eat from the same piece of bread. I'm also glad you beat the Omicron. Hope to see you at the RG Super Bowl party.
Which was canceled.
We're gonna be if so, we're gonna be alphas in that place. So anyways. People
Silva,
why are you
wanting to meet up
reading DMs on air, bro?
Yeah.
That's not kosher.
I'm gonna think twice next time I send you something, that's for sure, Kitchen.
If it's a positive DM, I can read it, Davis. If it's a negative one, I probably won't read that.
Well, I just don't think everyone needs to have a visual of you guys like lady and tramping a piece of bread here.
Do you know that's the bit? Like last time we were at the Super Bowl party, he would just come up to me, he goes, hey, how's that cake? And I'm like, it was pretty good. He's like, feed me. And I'm like, I just
feed me, bro.
And I like fed him with my fork. So that's
the King Henry bros just partaking from the same
bread.
That's
the bros,
King Henry. We got to get to running back. Who are the alpha running backs that you guys like this week, Davis?
Well, Sony Michel, Chase Edmonds, if James Conner doesn't play, David Montgomery against Minnesota, Jonathan Taylor, everyone is going to be alpha-ing him into their lineups. Kamara against Atlanta is sort of interesting. They've just been so disgusting. DeAndre Swift is down at $5,900 against a Green Bay team that is not going to be trying to win. And people were disappointed about his output last week, but he did lead the Lions backfield in snaps. So it was kind of a weird game script thing. And then Devin Singletary just getting all the work for the Bills. It's like unbelievable. It's like the most upside he's ever flashed in his career after he already killed everyone's best ball teams, which I'm legally allowed to talk about now.
All right. Peter?
Yeah, Davis continues to not want to put any respect on Samaje Perine's name. And it's frankly, it's offensive, Davis.
Why is that, Davis?
Because I have him projected in a pretty narrow split with Chris Evans, because this is a game that doesn't matter to the Bengals, and they kind of like what's his name? They kind of like Samaje Perine. Like they think he is a decent player, and they'll probably want him to stay healthy. So I don't know if he'll get 20 touches in this game.
I just want everyone to go back in your time machine to week 16 last year. Joe Mixon is out, and people were worried about Gio Bernard. And guess what? Gio Bernard still had 16 carries for 65 yards. But you know what Perine did? 13 carries, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. Highly efficient, nose for the end zone.
I can't get behind the narrative that they are trying to save Samaje Perine for the playoffs.
Well, they're not playing any of their starters in this game, I don't think.
He's not a starter.
He has more receptions on the year than Mixon does. They use him.
Okay. I feel like you're making
scared money don't make money.
Yeah.
No, and not that he's bad or that I won't play him. But I would much rather play Keyshawn Vaughn if Ronald Jones is out personally.
2 touches last week, 2 touches the week before, 6 touches the week before that. I don't think saving Samaje is going to be the narrative you want.
I'm more worried about Lev Bell for Keyshawn than I am Chris Evans for Perine.
That seems fine. Those are both reasonable. Neither of them are the only real slam dunk play of the slate is Michelle. Yeah, I mean he's the only zero qualms running back play.
Not Jonathan Taylor.
He's like 9,400,
9,300.
Yeah, and you need to save that money to be able to get up to the Bills D. So
yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like, and also, you know, they're playing the Texans. They're up 10 points. I mean, they're up 14 points. Are they giving Deion Jackson carries? Like, do they care about? So here's the question. Jonathan Taylor has 143 rushing yards at half. Do they just say, get your 2,000 yards? Like, are they just jamming JT in to get him the record, or do they not care? Not even a record, just 2,000 yards.
I think they get him to 2,000.
Yeah.
Feed the man.
All right.
They've stopped throwing him the ball at all. He's got like 4 targets the last month. which is a
if you
bit
saw
odd.
the Titans last week against Miami, you know the running game was pretty strong. And the Patriots play Miami this week. If you will have a limited Damian Harris, could it be Ramondre Stevenson's season, Davis?
We're only talking about cash games. So obviously not playing Ramondre at all.
This feels a little thin, Dave.
Yeah, feels a little thin, bud.
Feels a little thin, man. Sounds like you're kind of galaxy branding a cash game show.
Okay, here's the thing though, because Peter, you're a cash game bro 1 week out of the season. Yeah. I am a cash game bro it's just in my DNA.
Yeah,
like, I would never not be a cash game bro.
How much cash game action have you played this year?
That doesn't take out the fact
he played me 1 week.
I'm just telling you. Yeah, Davis is so scared he wouldn't even rematch me or send me any invites for any head.
I don't send invites. Right, I don't Davis, do that.
You're a cash game poser is what you're trying to say.
Let me tell you about, there is a core of your cash game. Okay, there's your core, and you talk about, you have the core and you have like 7 players that you want to play. You want to fit in. There's a 2v2. Sometimes there's a flex play and you're just like, I got to do it. There's a little bit of risk there, but I got to do it. Especially
that's more of an NBA. That's more of an NBA DFS thing than an NFL DFS thing.
Are you mansplaining to the cash game king right now how cash works, Dave?
I'm just telling you that final piece might have a little bit of risk to it.
He is mansplaining you.
So when you say Ramondre, if Damian Harris is out, Ramondre Stevenson is not a thin play. He's actually.
I'm sending you a head-to-head right now. I'm sending it. Play Ramondre Stevenson against me. I dare you.
I dare you, bro.
All right.
Also, I need to talk about something with these head-to-head invites coming in. And Iowa Husker, it does look like you rectified the situation. But am I just willy-nilly clicking accept on all these? Yes. And if you try to sneak in a Saturday one or a Sunday all-day one on me, there will be hell to pay.
Well, Pete, that shouldn't be a problem because you should only have a lineup for the one slate.
You're right, but I might not have that lineup on the site yet.
You've been joshing the cash game shell.
The shell is on the notebook paper.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
I can't believe that you have been. Well, this was just a little bit of helpful advice. It will make accepting all these games much easier if you have a lineup to put in.
You're just saving, like you're just reserving all these cash games.
Yeah, Pete, that is a lineup. That is a recipe for disaster on Sunday
Tell me
morning.
you're not a regular cash game bro without.
Look, if I end up playing a little tennis DFS, so be it.
All right. Any other high-priced running backs that you guys like this week that you're going to take any sort of risk on?
Feels like a mid-6 week kind of week, maybe getting up to JT.
Okay. All right. There we go. Let's move on to wide receiver. This is where the bread is made in week 18, friends. This is where we have to figure out who we're playing and maybe more importantly, who we're not playing. So, Peter, I'll let you start.
You know, it is, I just want to, on behalf of all of Cash Game Nation, it's tough to lose Braxton Berrios now that he's been priced up to 4,900. I mean, this guy has just been an absolute print fest for us these past few weeks.
I can't do this. It's so painful.
A total free square, just absolute cheat code. I can't believe people were fading Braxton Berrios last week. I mean, this reminds me of when Mayweather fought Conor McGregor. It was just the lock of the century. So, I mean, to all the slappies that faded him last week, thank you for all your action.
Well, we got punished appropriately.
We did. So, Braxton Berrios is now 4,900. He's not really in play anymore, but we had a lot of good times. We did.
All right. So did you answer the question about who you like at wide receiver?
Well, the thing about DFS, Dave, is it's less about who you like and more about who you don't like.
That's what I just said.
I'm telling you right now, this slate we're starved. We're starved for value.
I mean, I just guarantee you we're gonna get it. There are gonna be multiple teams who are just like, we're not playing this game. Like Cedric Wilson, they're gonna be like Amari Cooper and
here. I'll give you one right
playing.
now to everyone who's kind of going through withdrawals on Braxton Berrios. Adam Humphries at 3,700.
Yep,
could be our generation's Braxton Berrios. I mean, I would prefer that his ADOT was actually even a little lower. Sometimes they're using him a bit too far down the field for my liking. But I mean, this guy could catch, I don't know, 3-4 balls, and that definitely makes it move.
Second time we touted a 3 for 30 line from a Washington football team player on this show.
I mean, if I was playing GPPs and I'm not, I mean, something with an Adam Humphries Bates double stack sounds real nice.
Yeah. So some of the cash game wide receivers, what's interesting is that Justin Jefferson is way better points per dollar than Cooper Kupp, like projected basically the same. And nobody's playing Justin Jefferson and everyone's playing Cooper Kupp. That is a little bit of an interesting game theory angle. Pete, I don't know if you've thought about that as it pertains to your cash game shell or not.
No, I just kind of put the best plays in and I make my opponents prove it to me. So if you guys want a galaxy brain Justin Jefferson over Cooper Kupp, prove it.
Cole Beasley is $4,800 against the New York Jets. He's sort of like the Buffalo Bills, Braxton Berrios.
Every team kind of has their own Braxton Berrios, if you think about it.
If you really do, yeah.
What about
Dalton Schultz?
Pittsburgh love.
After watching them play,
you want to? Are you touting Ray McLeod?
Ray. I mean, Deontay is going to get 1,000 targets. People still don't put enough respect on Deontay's name.
Ray Ray McLeod's last touchdown came in 2017 when he was playing for Clemson.
You know who I might just have to get into my cash game lineup this week is Jacoby Myers.
Yep.
I mean,
guy just scores touchdowns these days.
Could have been him scoring 2 touchdowns last week instead of Christian Wilkerson.
Yeah, I'm almost worried he's too dependent on touchdowns for his production these days. I'd prefer it when he's just kind of the high volume PPR guy, but the touchdowns, I guess, are a bonus.
All right, other wide receivers that you like, Davis?
I mean, I'm hoping that the Cowboys rest Amari and CD so that we can play Cedric Wilson. A couple of the other guys who I think are playable, the aforementioned Cole Beasley. Diggs is popping in our projections again in that Cooper Kupp slot, but look, we're all playing Cooper Kupp. Amon-Ra St. Brown just has he's like the wide receiver 4 over the last month of the season, and he's playing up against a team that doesn't care and is not trying. So that is a little bit interesting. But I think the cash game construction will be Cooper Kupp, minimum price wide receiver from whatever team ends up resting guys on Sunday morning, and a 5 to 6K wide receiver, like value guy.
Russell Gage. I mean, I get a little
an athletic specimen.
Yeah. Admit that Russell Gage has been playing well, Davis. I know you ragged on him all best ball season. You got to admit Russell Gage looks decent out there these days.
He does. He does look like an NFL player. Good for him.
Hey, are the Dolphins going to be playing like regular?
Let me ask Patrick.
Yeah. Thanks. I noticed.
Did you see he's turned into an influencer, Pete?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping that I would run into in Nashville since they were playing the Titans last weekend.
He's not traveling with the team.
He's not traveling with the team.
I had dinner with him on Saturday
I know, that's
night.
what I'm saying. I saw the picture of you having dinner with him. It was because he's pretty young, right? Like he's like
20, 24.
Yes, like 15 years younger than you. Like
15
So that was like, it was warming. It was heartwarming to see.
That was, Dave, you're not very funny on this show very often, but that was so freaking good.
Thank you.
I'm so triggered.
I think they just caught Peter off guard with that. Anyways.
I'm so triggered.
No, the delivery was so good, and Peter was not ready for it. Yeah. Peter was not ready to be called a 40-year-old on this program.
I feel like Michael Scott, when he makes a joke and then people laugh and then like he he gets like so much.
All right, here's a
satisfaction out of
question:
it.
bigger gap in age, Patrick Laird and me, or Davis and Blender?
Blender is like 67. I know Blender told me how old he actually is on the tape cast, and I was like, absolutely not. You're at least 10 years older than that. I believe Blender said he is only 12 years older than me. I believe that's what he said. But I mean, it's just got to be a lie. Blender has got to be 65 years old. Blender told me he only owns 3 pairs of pants.
You guys, was this all after the show? You guys were having this conversation?
No, this was because we were talking about NFTs, and I was trying to explain to him the desire to flex. And he was like, "What?"
I tried to explain the desire to flex.
And he was like, "What? That makes no sense to me. I own 3 pairs of pants."
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, I was gonna say for the GPP bros that are listening to the show still, Devontae Parker.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
Devontae Parker might be a decent play. You know how many targets he got last week?
Probably a lot.
13
Wow.
targets. He's under 5K. So you remember he's AJ Greenlight, and he might have some motivation this week.
AJ Greenlight is not necessarily the comparison that gets me excited.
Yeah, not these days, but like AJ Green in his prime light.
Okay.
That's what I should have said. All right. Let's do a FanDuel lineup. Are you playing cash game on FanDuel as well, Peter?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I do
because
have
if you are not, you cannot be included in the Cash Game Bros club.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Will I be playing big volume over there? Probably not. Will I have a team? Yes. And look, in the same way, when someone is raising money for a new company, maybe their seed round gets overinvested. I have $11.11 worth of head-to-heads I could accept on FanDuel without being the deposit king. So first come, first serve.
What happened to the bankroll builder that was the Swolecast?
Well, Swolecast started to galaxy braid a little too much on Wednesday.
Oh, is this what happens when I miss 3 out of 4 weeks?
Yes. Kitchen, do you want to tell everyone my username on FanDuel? That makes it
yes. If you want to be one of the 2 people that can send Peter a $5 head-to-head, it is FF_. Make sure you include the underscore Comedy Hour Pete. Right?
Correct.
There's no underscore between Comedy Hour and Pete.
It is.
You don't even know your own name.
No, you got it wrong. It's the FF Comedy HR _ Pete.
God.
I think you should bring back the FF Comedy Hour.
Some might even say it's already been brought back.
Davis.
Actually, no, because there was like serious like production that went on into the Comedy Hour. Like you can still go look up. It's like one of the early historical DFS shows.
The first generative comedy football product.
It really is. I didn't want to say it's
rescued
it
from obscurity.
It's the Mooncats of DFS shows.
Is it acclaimed or unclaimed podcast?
It is crazy to think how far we come, because I remember how excited I was to book David Kitchen to be a guest on that show.
All right. FanDuel.com.
Are you okay, Kitchen?
No, this long COVID.
Been sharing too many pieces of bread with Silva over there.
All right, let's create a lineup, shall we?
Yeah.
Peter, you go first.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So, I mean, we do have one slam dunk play that kind of transcends both sites and scoring settings, and we are going to put Sony Michel over here.
Yeah.
David.
All right. Sony Michel is 7,700. This is a different type of format. People who are used to playing in a PPR site. This is a half point PPR, favors running backs more. So whereas Jonathan Taylor might have scared
Jonathan Foreman in. Oh, okay.
What did he say?
Whereas Jonathan Taylor might have scared you on DK, he should not scare you on FanDuel, where he's 10.2K.
It's why I love playing over on FanDuel, because you can just get in a bunch of studs, man. It just gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling.
And here's a little bit of a tip, a quick tip for the cash game bros or wannabe cash game bros on FanDuel. Don't just put all your action in the multipliers, because there is a significant benefit in going to the 50-50 tab. Sorting by entrance, get in all the 100-man 50-50s that you can. Because it's a lot. That's like where the FanDuel cash games has an edge over DraftKings, because like 50-50 games on DraftKings, they're really hard to come by. They're really easy to find on FanDuel. All right, David,
I just want to say real quick, go off, King. I thought that's the good stuff.
Yeah, this is what I've been waiting for this week right here.
Trey Lance, a quarterback. He's only 7,000.
Wow.
He and Huntley are the same.
This
price.
would be the lineup. This would be the lineup you used Josh Allen in, not Trey Lance. But
I got to be honest, I don't know about the value options on FanDuel as well. So
fraud.
You know FanDuel. Fraud. You know that it's easier to spend up at quarterback.
Yeah, but if you want to play Cooper Kupp here, he is 1,200 more than every other wide receiver.
Yeah, well, you might not be able to play Cooper Kupp in this sliding. This would be your want-to guy. All right. Anyways, we'll go with Trey Lance. He's only 1,800 less than Josh Allen, but anyways. All right. Peter.
Yeah, we're gonna put in a wide receiver who's too cheap over here.
Yeah,
that's Tyler Lockett.
Ooh, I like it. 6.9K.
Love it. We'll go with. Oh, go ahead, Dave.
No, you can go.
He's just gonna put in Zach Ertz at tight end. Yeah. He's got like 25 targets the last 2 weeks.
I love it. Guy that just catches and falls down. That's what we want in cash.
Yeah, just immediate.
All right. Oh man, I don't think we can make Cooper Kupp work in this lineup, even with.
You can play AJ Brown though.
Well, AJ Brown.
Hear ye.
He's cheaper. He's cheaper than Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Wow. Life comes at you fast.
Let's go with AJ. Let's go with AJB.
Who are we spending up at defense here on FanDuel on?
I'd love to spend up on the Bills.
Sure.
Bills are too cheap.
Gets pretty tight. Gets pretty tight.
I know this might be gross. Especially seeing how many points they allowed last week against Seattle. But the Lions are min salary, and they're going to be playing against Green Bay's scrubs.
Yeah.
And Jordan Love.
And Dan Campbell, man, he's a competitor.
He's going to get them hyped. He's going to get them hyped for the game. So I'm going to put in the
Lions. Boom. And then we can go cash game lock Jacoby Myers.
And maybe DJ Moore.
I was going to say
or Singletary.
Yeah. You do not want to go 4 receivers FanDuel cash game line.
I'm going Vaughn again on mine.
Yeah, I did just see Ronald Jones in practice today, so I am officially going to update my shell.
He's in a walking boot, bro.
I'm updating my shell. I just said that.
All right.
This team looks nice. Send me a head-to-head on FanDuel.
But not for more than $10.
What's the lowest price point for head-to-heads on FanDuel?
$1.
All right, I want to get $11 head-to-heads.
$11.
It's too much variance if it's just against 2. I think I could smooth it out a little bit across the left.
Kicking yourself if on DraftKings you just get railroaded, and on FanDuel you've got like a top 5% lineup, because that's what's going to happen.
What's the worst case scenario? I lose 43% of my head-to-heads.
Buddy, let me tell you, it's pretty possible.
Oh man, I mean, it is hard just knowing how many people, for Levitan to kind of put out that energy that people are rooting for me to lose every penny. It hurts, but it also fuels me.
Levitan, his character arc is interesting.
Can we workshop a bit?
Yeah.
I need you a Rocky style training montage of you like over a calculator, like watching Cooper Cup game tape, like drinking Powerades while clicking optimize.
I got to get Snapples for Levy, right?
and then you have the motivational material. You print out his tweet on the wall.
I'm taking down my kids' drawings from the fridge and putting up the motivational.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Sounds like a great idea if I had time to make a video and shit post.
I got a heart out. This is my third day on the job as director of marketing, media, and design for RotoGrinders and Scores and Odds. So,
did I see breaking news on Twitter that Dan Bach is relocating to Nashville?
Yeah,
it's incredible. You guys gonna be spot each other at Planet Fitness?
Yeah,
do the orange mocha frappuccino trips.
Totally. Dan's totally in. If I just get an invite to the whatever golf club, whatever country club Dan's in, I don't even want to golf. I just want to be in the midst.
Do you want me? Because I got you an invite to Cal's Sportsbook, so I could just kind of throw my weight around here. Dan, please. I know Kitchen would really appreciate it if you invited him to the members guest tournament at whatever country club you end up joining.
All right. Thank you. All right.
David would embarrass you. Don't do that.
I would not embarrass him. I would I was with CSU at his country club back in the day.
Yeah. And you asked Timex who he was.
No, that wasn't with CSU. That was with Beep I'm a Jeep.
Okay.
So that was when I was in Canada.
Wow, you didn't even get invited to CSU's wedding? Sad.
Sure I did.
No, that's fine. We missed you.
I think I did get invited to the wedding.
Buddy, we missed you. It's fine.
Can we move on to tight end? You talked about Ertz. Any other tight ends?
I thought you had a heart out, bud.
Huh?
Thought you had a heart out.
That's what I'm saying. Can we talk about tight ends? Can we get it?
We kind of talked about it at the top. Davis threw out masturbates. I threw out Komet. Mentioned Ertz. I mean, that's really your cash game options right there.
Yeah. I mean, the bros who just push optimize are going to play $3,400 Cole Komet. Maybe if we get a bunch of value, people play Gronk. But yeah, that's pretty maybe we'll end up with a Steven Anderson right tackle situation where we can play a truly $2,500 guy.
Maybe a Nick Eubanks for Detroit. That make it move for you, Davis?
Yeah. Is what's his name? Is Brock Wright questionable?
Yeah, I think he retired after appearing in NFL All Day Packs. He reached the peak.
All right. This is where I think that this guy needs to be in consideration for your cheap tight ends.
I swear to God, if you say Anthony Ferkser.
Listen, sometimes in life, you grind, you crawl until it clicks, right? Anthony Ferkser is 3.1K.
My favorite part of the season was when Mike Vrabel called him a special teams player.
Well, I think it's done now. And they lost Michael Pruitt. They they had to sign someone, Ryan Izzo. They brought him in, but he won't be playing, I don't think. So they're going to be really thin at tight end in a must-win game. I think it's clicked for him. And he's 3.1K. Just pencil him in for a touchdown.
Pencil him in?
Yeah, pencil him in because you might need to rearrange that depending on whatever news.
So are you accepting even money bets if I say he doesn't score a touchdown?
I probably need a little bit of extra juice.
That sounded to me like a guy who wants an even money bet.
No, if I said like Sharpie it in, that would have been like a even money thing.
So it's more of a shell kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a shell. Like he's interchangeable. I might bet him over Bates. So you might have that for sure.
Okay.
I feel like they're the same player pretty much, except with first.
Except one of them literally does not come off the field, a la Week 16 Miami Dolphins. Patrick Laird.
What is 100% of snaps in that Washington offense, anyways?
More than 50% of the snaps in the Titans offense.
Master Bates versus the Ferk Daddy. Sounds like a great.
That's Week 18, buddy.
25, Davis. 25.
No.
What?
I don't care enough to wager on this.
What's the bet, Kitchen? I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, Davis wants to put this guy in his cash.
I want Cole Kmet though. Cole Kmet.
No, I'm not going to give you Cole Kmet because I think Cole Kmet is a way better option than Bates is. So
I guess
wow.
SocrDave
is on Team ETR in the head-to-head. Then apparently, or Team Tilt Space.
Okay, I
never even got hooked up with a free complimentary Blitz subscription this year. It's been tough.
Did you ask?
I think I did at one point.
I
asked to get premium.
Hey, Dave,
that's not premium's not the Blitz is a separate add-on that Cardi has to sign off on. And if
I thought I'd get the white glove treatment. Cardi slides into the DM.
Dave, while I have you here, my RG premium access expired on January 1st. If you could.
Yeah, it was funny because during the show I had to message Ross because mine also expired.
So if you
Ross,
could, if you could also message Ross for me, that would be very. Because I hate to now that DB is like the boss. I'm not gonna like DM and be like, hey, can you go into the back end and give me
but you don't have
please,
a problem
Dan?
with me. I'm now one of the higher ups too.
If I saw any evidence that you did any work for RotoGrinders.com, I would feel bad.
Buddy, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna bring you to Workday. Like you're gonna be
bring your child to Workday.
Bring Davis to Workday, and you could just shadow me, and I'll show you how it's
Dave,
done.
I would love to do that with you.
Okay,
I would.
All right.
Can DraftKings be done with the Chasing the Goat series and send their documentary crew to Nashville to tape that?
We should have a segment where we just come up with like 10 different shows that would be better than Chasing the Goat around the DFS industry. It would probably take 2 seconds. All right, let's go with final closing thoughts, Davis. You're on your phone, so I assume there's some breaking news.
Yeah. Breaking news. Cam Akers expected to be active this week.
Ooh.
What do we think about that?
I mean, if he's active, he's going to be taking some carries away.
Yeah, but probably not many. Like, I don't know. I wonder, Pete, as a cash game bro, are you feeling nervous at all? Or aren't you worried about Cam Akers?
Yes, you would 100% be nervous.
No, it's something about getting him in his pension, and they want to put him in like a jersey and I don't know, put a lay around his neck or something. It's all decorative.
I distinctly remember McVay talking about the lay. Yeah, I think you're right.
So Sosa, I just noticed, said a 4-man Swolecast for $20. Is this between us three and Sosa?
Apparently. Tuttle not invited.
Sosa, I can't accept this, but if you do want to send me a direct head-to-head, by all means.
There's way too many laughs on this show. We needed Tuttle on the show. It was
we needed Tuttle. I don't know if we gave out any actionable advice. We didn't even give out Pete's cash game show.
No, there's so many giggles. The giggle gang was like on steroids for the cash game week. So again, wish Tuttle the best and his family the best in as they get healthy from the flu, Davis. And
why do you say that as if you're so skeptical?
No, I'm saying it because Davis said that we need to. I said he was sick, his family was sick, and they need to get better. Davis wanted me to specifically.
Yeah, like when an NBA player misses, they say non-COVID illness. That's what you say when someone is unwell with a cold or a flu. You say they're out. Tuttle is out with a non-COVID illness.
See, you're giving COVID too much in that instance. We should just go back to saying people are sick. And if they have COVID, you would just say they have COVID. But like sickness needs to be still sickness. Sickness does not equal COVID. Anyway.
This is a great note for the show to end on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Davis, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I guess there is actually, I don't even guess. There's definitely going to be money to be made on guessing motivations that the field doesn't know. So for example, the McDermott has been cucked by Belichick 100 times narrative. That is my personal favorite this week because I don't know how much the field is going to be playing that one. The Russell Wilson doesn't want to lose his last game as a Seattle Seahawks narrative. I like that one. But just you pretty much can pick your potpourri, as it were, because literally you can justify any play this week. Very similar to drafting someone at best ball and saying this is just the guy you needed in week 17.
Yeah, like a super bullish on the fourth wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. All right. Speaking of terrible takes and Terrace Marshall, Peter, do you want to give a terrible take or is it not necessary for this show?
I mean, that seems more like a GPP bro thing. Exactly. I mean, I'm just going to play the best plays and see where the chips fall.
Okay. So closing thoughts from you, Peter.
Yeah. I think this is a week to have an extremely tight core. It is a prove it week. I think that I'm going to have a very short list of want plays. And there's going to be a lot of must plays too, Dave. And so I think just being ready to grind your dick off this week, make sure that you're grinding all this news because that's where we get our edge. And also please send me a head-to-head on DraftKings Revert Z Top.
No, send them to Revert Z Top, but also send them to Davis Mattek.
Minkus Pinkus and Jordan Bloom confirmed it was Roger Lewis, Bowling Green.
Bang.
Yeah,
Roger
he was
Lewis,
Bowling Green
correct?
State's wide receiver, I believe, in college. Was really good. He was that week 17 bust. All right. Special thanks for everyone that is tuned in, that's still tuning in, even though we've got a hard out. We appreciate you. We appreciate you dealing with, just the things that come life's way. Sometimes stuff happens. Sometimes you get a little injury in your foot and people say, oh, they're done for, never going to come back the way they were. And then you know what? You come back week 18. And that's what we're doing this week. Just like Derrick Henry, we're coming back with a vengeance. So hear ye, best of luck in ye lineups this week. We'll see you next week for the playoff edition of the Swolecast here on RotoGrinders.com.